Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. He is being promoted terribly. Hearn eyes to sign Shakur Stevenson with a potential Gervonta Davis fight ahead. Without a doubt, Shakur Stevenson is among the best boxers in boxing today. But why has not the three-division 1 champion been in any mega fight yet? Why isn't he matched up with high-profile prospects like Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia or Gervonta Davis? Is that his fault? Matchroom Boxing head Hearn feels that it is his promoter's fault and maybe he could take up the charge to make Shakur the star he deserves to be. Shakur Stevenson has been with Bob Arum's top rank since the beginning of his career. With only one fight left in his contract with Arum, the boxer is expected to become a free agent after his July 6 fight with Artyom Kharatounian. Hearn believes that Bob Arum is not trying to make Stevenson a commercial success that can be, in Hearn's opinion, as it is the boxer's last fight with top rank. Arum has no leverage to increase the purchases and give more money out than necessary. Hearn went on to reveal what he feels about the boxer and what would be best for him. Hearn spilled some beans about signing the 21-0 boxer. The British promoter stated, "I think Shakur is pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world. He is maybe unbeatable, maybe he is that good, but I think he is being promoted terribly." Hearn also mentioned that the Paga list has not been pushed by his promoter to become a commercial success. Hearn believes that since Shakur is looking to live top rank, Bob Arum does not see the incentive in increasing his purse. Shakur should be a massive star, but he is not, say Hearn, explaining that top rank has not done enough in pushing Stevenson toward being a commercially valuable star, suggesting a prospect to make Shakur a commercial success. The British promoter added, "I think he is a great fighter, I think he would be an incredible addition to the matchroom team, and if he is available, we will definitely be having a conversation. Whether it works for both of us, we have to see." Few boxing promoters enjoy the same level of popularity as Hearn. He knows how to sell himself, and he definitely knows how to sell fights. The promoter has put it out in the open that he is interested in signing the WBC lightweight champ. Now the decision lies in the hand of the boxer. Shakur is confident that his time will come. The boxer from Newark, New Jersey is likely the most ignored boxer currently. The best possible chance for him to get big paydays is by facing Gervonta Davis. The Baltimore native is one of the biggest draws in boxing today, and the clash with Stevenson is one of the most anticipated bouts in boxing today. With Gervonta already looking for his next opponent, Shakur may get his shot at the knockout artist. Will it happen? While talking about a potential bout with Davis, the 26-year-old southpaw stated, "Honestly, I don't care. It is what it is. I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing this for money or clout. I don't need it. I know that my time will come. Gervonta Davis has nowhere else to go but to fight me. At the end of the day, me and him will have to fight, and that's my opportunity," Shakur said. After his spectacular knockout victory over Frank Martin earlier this month, Gervonta had two potential options for his next match. One Shakur and another Ryan Garcia's rematch. Tim Bradley names the one fighter who beats Gervonta very easily. Gervonta reminded fans, pundits and rivals just how destructive he can be in the ring. When he stopped previously undefeated Frank Martin, the return of Gervonta after a 14-month layoff saw him back on his game, patiently measuring out Martin and dropping some rounds before unleashing that famous power. It was the first defense of his WBA lightweight world title, and many watching were so impressed that they believe there is not a contender or fellow champion in the Division 1 that can take it from him. Hall of Famer fighter Turnet analyzed, Tim Bradley doesn't subscribe to that thinking, believing three-world champ Shakur has what it takes Stevenson now holds the WBC belt at 135 pounds, but was criticized for a negative performance when he won it against Edwin de los Santos. Speaking to social media, Bradley said Stevenson would be inspired to silence his doubters come July 6 against Artem Arutyunyan after Gervonta's more conclusive defense. Shakur already knows what he needs to do. He's seeing Gervonta shine, he's seeing Gervonta get that attention, but his ultimate goal is to be the best at 135 pounds. That's his goal. He gonna come in feeling some type of way, refocus that, dedicated like always, and he gonna show y'all what he's made of on the night when he returns. He has that in him. He's cut from a different cloth. Asked if Shakur was the lightweight to beat Gervonta Davis, Bradley had no doubt. Yeah, he's the one to beat Gervonta. Call me a hater. I don't give a damn. Y'all keep coming to me. Keep riding that hey baby. I love it. Yes, he beats Gervonta. That's my prediction, Tim Bradley said. Shakur Stevenson predicts a rude awakening for Gervonta when they met. Stevenson badly wants to fight Tank Davis, but it's up to lightweight champ to make it happen. Shakur Stevenson is setting the stage for what could be the most significant fight in boxing by challenging Gervonta Davis, as he seeks to elevate his profile for a shot at the lightweight world champion of the WBA. Stevenson has openly promised Davis a rude awakening should the opportunity arise for them to face each other. He anticipates that their match, a classic showdown between a slugger and a boxer, both undefeated, will become a landmark event in the sport. However, Davis, who has not fought in over a year, Shakur says 1 year suspension for Garcia not enough. Shakur Stevenson believes Ryan Garcia got off easy for testing positive. In April, Garcia knocked down Haney 3 times and scored a majority decision win, but it was revealed that after the fight that Garcia had banned the substance in his system. No, because I feel as though 1 year I really nothing, Stevenson said. It's not setting a good example to give somebody a year after something like that. Other fighters to come are going to think they are going to get only a year's time for cheating. I feel as though that's not fair. I think a lot of people are going to start doing it too. Shakur Stevenson is preparing to face Artem Arutyunyan in a homecoming fight on July 6 in Newark, New Jersey on ESPN in what will be the last fight under his current contract with Top Rank. I'm down to fight anybody and everybody, said Haney. There are plenty of big fights out there like Gervonta, William Zepeda and Isaac Rose as well. Anybody can get it. The main thing is to get these guys to say yes, I'm ready to step up to 140 if it's going to make the most money, David Haney said. Thanks for watching guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.